All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to talk about crypto mining. All right. So here's the thing. When I got into crypto, I wanted to dive in and learn every possible thing. I mean, spare no expense, teach me everything. And I've spent months and months just researching, reading, forums, Telegram, YouTube video. I mean, you name it. I mean, this whole course right now is probably 6 months of of the important key elements I've picked up over 6 months. So the mining thing, I'm going to tell you straight up. This rig that you're looking at right here, this is actually my Ethereum. Well, actually, I should call it my GPU mining rig. I've got six 1070 Founders Edition GPUs in here. This whole rig cost me, well, actually, this is an old picture because I've got everything split now onto two different power supplies, because the first one I built, some of the connections on the power supply melted, which scared the hell out of me. And I learned a lot building it. I actually created a guide on how to build this rig. It's on Zempify.com. This is a dual mining capable Ethereum mining rig using Claymore miner. Okay, got all the components, where to get them, everything you need to know on Zempify.com. Little hiccups, things that I didn't see in other people's guides, I put it all in here. Like every time I ran into a hiccup, something went wrong, I put it in here. So, and I think I talked about splitting everything up into two power supplies. Now I didn't have to do that. I just had things kind of set up a little weird. And but anyway, what is Ethereum? What is mining? Well, let's go into mining. So basically, mining in essence is just transformation, or it's transaction confirmation in a nutshell. You're basically so each mining coin and each blockchain typically runs on its own algorithm or its own script. With Ethereum, I think it's SHA-56 or something like that. I could have it backwards. There's so many of them, but basically they all run on their own script, and each one of those scripts has an algorithm attached to the transformations on the transactions on the blockchain, and those blockchain transactions need to be confirmed. And that's basically what the blockchain is. It's saying, okay, well, I sent, Ethereum from point A to point B, and then all the miners out there in the world, I think up to like 200, will go through and confirm that transaction and legitimize it. That way, if there's something wonky, and that's basically as it relates to every other transaction on the blockchain, right? So if somebody tries to hack it or mess with it, then some of these miners are going to get a faulty transaction, and that'll flag the system. And I don't even know what happens at that point because I've never done it. But ultimately, that's what mining is. It's kind of just like processing the ledger. Okay, there's some other elements to it as well, but I mean, really, what you really care about is how can I make the most money if I'm going to mine. Let me just tell you, this rig cost me, I think it was like 3,500 bucks. I think each one of these I had to buy on eBay because you just can't buy GPUs. You can't. A lot of stores online, you can only buy one, maybe two max per household. So to get a number of these, like if you're going to run a 6 GPU rig, you're going to go to eBay, which is where I went. I ended up paying 550 bucks for each of these, and I think their actual retail cost was maybe 450. So I paid like $100 premium for each one of these cards. Everything else you could get cheap. The power supply, I got a platinum. The platinum power supply was like 180 bucks. It was a Corsair power supply. My motherboard. Everything else is really cheap. I got a 60 gig SSD drive, which is enough to run the DAT files, get everything you need to mine the blockchains. And it's a nice little miner. I mean, this miner basically makes me about 10 bucks a day in Ethereum if I'm mining Ethereum. Now, if you're looking up mining, you're going to see a lot of different miners out there, like the Ant Miner D3 Plus, the L2 Plus. I mean, anything from Bitmain. Bitmain is a big manufacturer of mining equipment. Those are all script specific, right? So you might have a Bitcoin miner, you might have a Litecoin miner, you might have a SIA coin miner. And that's it. Like once you buy that miner, they're cheaper. They might run you anywhere from 1,500 to 4,500, depending on what scalper you're buying it from. And that's a whole other element there, just the way that that business is. It's kind of sickening. Um, in a nutshell, let's say Bitminer has a, a, a pallet of miners that they're getting ready to release. They allow people to put in all these pre-orders, right, for these miners because they don't release them for like 6 months. They're like, hey, we're, or 2 months. Hey, in January 28, we're going to release a new pallet of miners to everybody. Put your orders in. So then you get all these guys putting these pre-orders in, but they're not actually paying for them. Then they go out on eBay and Amazon, all these other sites, and maybe they're buying the miners for $1,500, and then they're trying to scalp you at $44,000 or $4,500 a piece. It's ridiculous, and Bitmain allows it, which is too disgusting. It's so disgusting, in fact, that I will never buy one. So, but that being said, the difference between this rig here and some of these other miner, like these are a whole bunch of rigs. I mean, these are all GPU rigs, obviously. But like, let's see. Antminer. This is what an Antminer looks like, and I mean these are script specific miners that people like this. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is called a mining farm data center. But once you have one of these, that's all it's going to mine. So I don't really think you can modify them. You can't change them very much. You can't do anything but mine the script they were built for. With a rig like this, it's a little bit more money up front, but I can mine whatever. So, if Ethereum's down, excuse me, if Ethereum's down and a new coin it's starting to come up, and I think, hey, man, you know what? The block difficulty is low. I could mine up, 20 of these coins a day compared to a fraction of an Ethereum a day. And, maybe this coin's only worth $2 a piece, but if I can mine up 5 of them every day, well, I'm making as much as I could with an Ethereum. And, if that cryptocurrency's value rises over the next 6 months, well, then I'm making a huge profit. And that's kind of what you do. And there are different sites out there, what to mine. For GPU mining rigs, a lot of these sites will tell you, like, this is a really profitable coin. You basically plug in, like, this rig gets me around, well, I've lowered my settings, so I'm only pulling, and I'm happy with it. I used to be able to pull like 198, 194 mega hashes a second. I just run this thing at about 185, man. It keeps the temperature down, and it really never rises above 53 degrees. Run the fans like 60 to 70, and it's pretty fluid. And so what I do, so for like this miner, I actually mine. Here's what I found. Here's a little tip that'll probably prove valuable to you. I started off with a dwarf miner, all right, because I was looking at a guide on how to set up the miner. Using that pool, for whatever reason, you put in a mining pool. So basically how this works is you can mine solo if you want. And, maybe you get one block confirmation every month or something, and you get all the reward yourself. Or you could join a pool of lots of other miners, and you're multiplying your chances to get a block to the minute instead of to like the weeks, months, or year, even like in Bitcoin's case, based on the block's difficulty. So, which the difficulty goes up based off of how many people are mining it. Okay, so with this, you join the mining pool and you're getting a steady stream of income from your miner rather than just sitting around getting nothing. And then maybe you hit something at some point if you get lucky. But where was I? So with what to mine, this allows you to put in your mega hash rate. And, here's the thing in a nutshell. If you know how to trade, so if you're watching some of the other lectures in here and you're thinking, I want to get into some swing trading, I want to set up my charts and all that, I'm going to start doing some swing trading. So when I first got into mining and I first built this, I didn't know a whole hell of a lot about crypto trading. I knew about stock trading, but I didn't understand like some of the differences. And I understand the market in crypto so much. It's like in the stock world, there isn't really one stock that can kind of dictate what happens to the entire market underneath it, right? It's nowhere near that predictable. In crypto, it's very predictable, I feel, especially based off of what's happening with some of the top tier cryptocurrencies. It's pretty, you can predict what's going to happen. Like in the other lecture, I predicted everything that's going to happen with this fork. I guarantee I'm right. Just wait until, towards the end of November and then come back and leave a comment and let me know if I was accurate on that prediction. And if you can do that, you can make a lot more money trading cryptocurrency than you can mining it. So if I were to take the $4,000 or whatever it was that I spent to build this mining rig, so it makes me $10 a day. Hell, if I would have thrown that in BitConnect, honestly, if I would have thrown that in BitConnect at the same time, I would have probably already doubled that money. As opposed to, I basically take whatever I mine in Ethereum, if that's what I'm mining, or whatever coin I'm mining at the time, and I would invest it into ICOs. Now, because the market's so weird and ICOs are profitable, but they're so far and few between on which ones are really good. And that's when I've kind of said, look, I'm not even going to put money into anything unless it utilizes the coin itself, or if it's a new platform blockchain coin. I don't buy it. So, so that being said, that's kind of what mining is in a nutshell. You set up your pool, and that's what I was talking about. So my mining pool, where is it? Mining stats. When I was on Dwarf Pool, it shut down the Wi-Fi in my whole house. When I turned on my miner, it would just basically, everything would come to a crawl and I would lose connection on everything except the miner. And then when I went to Nano Pool actually runs, so yeah, I'm doing about 187. And Nano Pool runs pretty well. Okay, so for whatever reason, I've gone down. So, because the Ethereum cost has gone. This is basically what I'm mining in Ethereum every day, $8.44 worth. So chances are, like Music Coin or one of these other coins might be worth me going back into and changing it. And you know what? Here's what's funny. I think, where is it? What I do with my miner is have it set up so I can connect from any other computer that I'm on and control my mining rig. So if I know that a currency is going to be better for the day or whatever, like this is what I'm mining right now, right? So I'm just going to shut it down. Boom. I'm going to stop my mining. I've got Afterburner going. That'll start to wind down. And these are all the coins that I kind of mine. Expanse, Music Coin, and Vertcoin are the three other coins. And when I'm running my Ethereum miner, I'm also mining Sia Coin at the same time. So I'm actually mining two coins simultaneously. So it kind of offsets some things. But Music Coin, let me see what Music Coin is right now. Music Coin. It's down. So, or no, yeah, it's typically 0.17, 0.18, at which point you're doing like $10 a day based off of what you can mine. So probably not that. Let's see Vertcoin. Now Vertcoin's a little more challenging to get. So it's at $3. Actually, that's gone up. Yeah, holy cow. All right. So yeah, so I might mine some Vertcoin. And Expanse. Expanse seems to be doing pretty well too. So, well, let me see what Expanse is up to. I'll probably go back to Vert. So basically, the point I'm trying to get at, showing you guys this. So that's down here. The point I'm trying to get at is you can control, like on the fly, whatever you want to mine, and that's it. You just double click your miner. Oh, that's right. I used this instead. I don't even need that anymore. Actually, you know what? I'll just go back to Ethereum. Screw it. It'll go back up, so I don't know why I'm being silly. So anyway, so that's how easy it is. And then I just close this out. Boom, it's mining again. You can change whatever you want. With the script miners, you can't do that. You can't just log into your system and be like, I want to mine this, or I don't want to mine that. You just can't. So that's the kind of the basic gist of mining. Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. If you're a beginner to cryptocurrency and you want to make money, maybe you've got a few grand to spare, you want to build a cheap mining rig, or you know somebody that's got a bunch of video cards or whatever, and you just want to just dabble, then go for it, just to learn. For me, I built my miner primarily because I wanted to learn more about how things worked. Because I came into this as an investor. I came in as somebody who wants to invest in ICOs, invest in crypto, and in order for me to do that, I had to really dive into every aspect of it all. And I'm constantly flooding myself with new information, new data, and it makes for more valuable investments. So, that being said, if I could go turn back the clock and take that $4,000 I spent on the miner and actually invest it into something, I would have just bought Bitcoin. And I'd probably be up significantly right now. I'd probably be quadruple what, oh God, that sucks to say. I'd probably be up quadruple what I spent on the rig. So, it's give and take. I mean, but I've made the money in other coins and things like that. So, if you don't know anything about trading and if you have no inclination whatsoever, you have no desire to be a trader, then mining is great. I mean, it is. It's great. It's passive money. You'll get a return. I mean, it's fun. But if you know about trading, you'll make a lot more money trading than you will building a rig. Plus the fact that building the rig was a pain in the ass. So, building the rig and then letting it sit and kind of dealing with the little things that pop up here and there, it's been kind of a pain. It's smooth sailing so far now, knock on wood. But you would definitely make more money trading. I've even thought about selling my rig, just making my money back and then investing it, which I probably would do. But I probably I put so much time and effort into like the quality of all the parts and everything. It's like, some people like to build a rig as cheap as they can. I like to build things so that they last. And so, if I were to sell the rig, I probably wouldn't take it less than $4,500. So, would somebody be willing to pay that over just building their own? I don't know. It depends. But for me, it's probably not worth getting rid of. So there you go. That's kind of a, crypto mining 101, and I'll be back with another lecture.